per capita. So you, as well as now you look into industrials versus not industrials.
Yes.
So
Annex 1
a country like Qatar,
Yeah.
it's the highest carbon per capita in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
At the same time, they're not bounded to do anything yet,
That's correct.
right?
That's correct.
Versus now China, the other hand, which is almost same,
Yeah.
but the impact is much higher. So they're pushed to do more.
Yeah. China's carbon per capita is quite a bit lower. It's about 4 tons.
It's very, very low,
Yeah.
right?
That's
But
right.
they're pushed to do more in terms of carbon because of the total amount of carbon that they're producing.
Yeah. I'm not sure pushed. I think they're politically rather effective at reducing the pressure at this
Right,
point.
right.
But again, I think they find it from a politics perspective, they find it perhaps better to engage the issue on their terms. So they are defining the terms. They're defining their cut on carbon intensity, on the amount per $1 million of GDP, that kind of thing. So they're defining it that includes economic growth in their carbon reduction. Okay.
I mean, it's like, it seems to me the economic part of it is what's so complicated, because you do the reduction and you increase possibilities for producing goods and jobs and what have you.
Yeah.
That formula is not pretty well understood, right?
Well, I think it's what you'd like is to have wiggle room of that kind, and that's what China and India both claimed at this stage. So they're doing carbon intensity rather than actual carbon reductions. They're reducing the rate of carbon emissions per $1 million of GDP rather than simply a cut against a year's total.
Right, but if you, I mean, the formula with the SUM also includes in it the issue of producing the energy from renewables, right? Their target for at least China is roughly 20% by 2015.
Yeah.
Now that's one part. I think the resistance of the assumption is, if you want to call it resistance, or the negotiations, is related to also the issue of reducing your carbon in terms of emissions from the existing way of producing the electricity to the
yeah, but actually the treaty in force now is a reduction against a benchmark year. It doesn't actually permit an adjustment for economic growth. However, China, because it's not part of the treaty, has self-defined what its benchmark is going to be, and it has self-defined its benchmark as carbon intensity, which then effectively allows it to increase emissions, but to increase them at a slower rate than it did in the past as it expands its economy. Okay, so that's the wiggle room.